For 10 years, there was one certainty in English football. If you were playing Manchester City in midfield, you were going to lose that battle. Guardiola made sure of it. That certainty just disappeared. Pep Guardiola is gone. Manchester City are now being run by Enzo Maresca, his own former assistant, the man who literally stood next to him during the treble season. And in 3 weeks, Manchester City travel to a Manchester United side that spent this entire summer rebuilding a midfield that was, by their own admission, almost bare just months ago. Here's the uncomfortable question every City fan is quietly asking. Is this actually still the same machine without Pep in the building? And here's the question every United fan is asking back. Did we just build the exact midfield profile that can go and expose it? By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why this specific fixture, City's brand new system against United's brand new midfield, might be the single most revealing early test of whether City's era of total dominance is actually ending. The end of an era. Why this isn't just a new manager. Let's establish exactly what changed at City, because this isn't a minor tweak. This is a full changeover at the top of English football's most dominant club of the last decade. Pep Guardiola left Manchester City at the end of the 2025-26 season, a campaign that ended with City as Premier League runners-up, not champions, and closed out a run in which Guardiola had delivered 20 trophies across 10 years at the club. His replacement isn't an outsider. It's Enzo Maresca, who signed a 3-year contract to take over at the Etihad. Maresca's City connection runs deep. He worked as head coach of City's academy side back in 2020, then became Guardiola's actual assistant coach during the 2022-23 treble-winning season, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, the lot. Since then, he took Leicester City to the championship title in his first season in charge, then moved to Chelsea, where he won the Club World Cup before departing in January 2026. Here's the part that should make every rival club nervous and every rival club excited, depending on how you look at it. Maresca isn't trying to reinvent City from scratch. He's a disciple of the same positional play philosophy Guardiola built his empire on. But he's not a carbon copy either. At Chelsea, Maresca built a very specific, very recognizable system. A back four that morphs into a back three in possession, with one fullback, usually someone like Marc Cucurella, tucking inside to form a double pivot in central midfield, while the goalkeeper joins the build-up to create numerical overloads deep in his own half. The result at Chelsea was a team that dominated possession. Only Guardiola City actually had Chelsea's number there, averaging more of the ball than anyone else in the league. Maresca's whole approach is engineered around one goal: suffocating central control, so much of the ball that the opponent barely gets to touch it. Sounds unbeatable, right? Except there's a structural weakness baked into that exact system. And it just so happens Manchester United spent the entire summer building a midfield that's shaped to attack it. United's midfield rebuild, from bare to a genuine threat. To understand why this fixture matters, you need to understand how far United's midfield has come in just 7 months. Rewind to January. Ruben Amorim was sacked after fewer than 14 months in charge, having won just 25 of his 63 games. Michael Carrick, a former United midfielder himself, took interim charge, then earned the job permanently after guiding the club to a third-place finish, securing Champions League football for the first time since 2023-24. But here's the alarming stat from earlier this summer. At one point, Kobbie Mainoo was described as the only available, recognized senior central midfielder United had. Casemiro left the club as a free agent, bound for Inter Miami, reportedly because he wanted the chance to play alongside Lionel Messi, and Manuel Ugarte suffered a serious knee ligament injury playing for Uruguay at the World Cup, an injury that could keep him out for the best part of a year. Read that back. Manchester United went into a Champions League season with essentially one fit, proven central midfielder. So what did they do about it? United missed out on two of their top targets. Elliot Anderson, who actually signed for Manchester City instead for a reported £116 million, and Matheus Fernandes, who went to Tottenham for around £85 million. A separate deal for Atalanta's Ederson collapsed after medical concerns. Instead, United pivoted and brought in two players who, on paper, look built for exactly this kind of fixture. Andrey Santos, a 21-year-old Brazil international signed from Chelsea for roughly £48 million, and Youri Tielemans, the 29-year-old Belgium captain who arrived from Aston Villa for around £35 million after winning the Europa League there and captaining his country at the World Cup. Add those two to Kobbie Mainoo, who found real form once Carrick replaced Amorim, and captain Bruno Fernandes still driving the team from midfield, and United suddenly have a four-man engine room that blends composure, ball carrying, and proven pressing intensity. And that specific blend is exactly what makes this matchup so dangerous for City. Because a midfield full of energetic ball winners and forward runners isn't just a group of good players. Against a possession system built on inverted fullbacks and central overloads, it's a loaded weapon, where Maresca City can actually be hurt. This is the section that explains the whole video. Stay with me here, because this is where problem stops being a headline and starts being a genuine tactical argument. Maresca's build-up structure, as we covered, relies on inverting a fullback into midfield. When Chelsea did this, and by all early reporting, City are expected to do the same, you get a back three in possession, with a double pivot screening in front, and the wide areas held by touchline-hugging wingers, rather than traditional overlapping fullbacks. Here's the trade-off nobody can avoid. When a fullback tucks inside to help control possession, he's no longer in his defensive position out wide. That's not a flaw specific to Maresca. It's the price every possession-based, inverted fullback system pays. The space in behind that advanced, inverted fullback becomes available the moment the ball is lost in a dangerous area. Now picture Manchester United's midfield sitting in exactly that space. Bruno Fernandes has spent years reading exactly these moments. Driving into pockets the instant possession turns over. Mainoo, at his best, is a ball carrier who can beat a press and get United vertical in a matter of seconds. Santos brings the kind of relentless box-to-box energy that's tailor-made for closing down a rushed City pivot before it can reset. And Tielemans adds the passing range to actually find the space United's front line will be sprinting into. That's not a random collection of midfielders. That's a midfield specifically equipped to punish the exact moment Maresca's structure is at its most exposed. The transition right after City lose the ball in their own overload. Here's the tension though, and it cuts both ways. If United can't win the ball back quickly enough, or if their press isn't coordinated, Maresca's central overloads can simply suffocate them. Chelsea's possession numbers under him were second only to City itself in the Premier League. A midfield that doesn't press with real discipline doesn't get to punish the gaps. It just gets passed around in circles for 90 minutes while City's double pivot dictates the entire tempo of the game. So which version of this shows up? A United midfield sharp enough to turn City's own structure against them? or a City side experienced enough in this exact system to make United chase shadows all afternoon? That's the fight inside the fight. And it's why this specific matchup is being talked about as one of the most important tactical tests of City's post-Guardiola era. The high stakes. This isn't just one game. Let's zoom out, because there's more riding on this than 3 points. For Manchester City, this season is about proving something that's never had to be proven before. That the machine Guardiola built can keep running without him at the controls. Maresca inherited a squad shaped entirely around one manager's philosophy for a decade. Every early result gets read as evidence for or against the idea that City's dominance was about the system or about the man. For Manchester United, the stakes are arguably even bigger. This isn't a club trying to sneak a surprise result against a superior side anymore. Under Carrick, United are back in the Champions League. They've spent real money rebuilding the exact department that crippled them for years, and they're publicly framing this season as the one where they stop just competing with the league's elite and start actually beating them. Beating a Maresca-led City side wouldn't just be 3 points on a random weekend. It would be United sending the loudest possible message. City's era of total, uncontested dominance is over, and we're one of the teams that's going to prove it. That's not hype. That's literally what both clubs are building toward this season, whether either camp says it out loud or not. Now, let's not get carried away, because a fair breakdown has to include the other side of this. Manchester City are still Manchester City. They retain a squad shaped by 10 years of the most successful football project of its era, and Maresca isn't walking into this blind. He already knows this squad intimately from his time as Guardiola's assistant. His track record so far is genuinely strong. A title at Leicester, silverware at Chelsea. Betting against a system built on that much recent success, on day one of a new era, is a real risk. And on United's side, Santos and Tielemans are brand new to this squad and to English football at the level required to consistently punish elite opposition. Chemistry, understanding of each other's runs, defensive coordination as a unit, all of that takes time to build, and it doesn't always show up cleanly in the first months of a rebuild, no matter how good the individual pieces look on paper. So no, this isn't a guaranteed City collapse, but the ingredients for a genuine upset. A new, still settling system on one side, and a midfield specifically built to attack that system's known weak point on the other, are undeniably there. So here's where this leaves us. Manchester City have the same badge, largely the same squad, and a manager who learned the blueprint directly from the man who built it. But the man who built it is gone. And for the first time in a decade, City are about to find out whether their dominance was ever really about the system or whether it was about Pep Guardiola all along. Manchester United, meanwhile, didn't just patch up a broken midfield this summer. They built one that looks specifically designed to exploit the one structural gap every inverted fullback system has to live with. So I'll leave you with this. When these two midfields actually collide this season, Maresca's overloads against United's transition, who do you think blinks first? Drop your prediction in the comments and subscribe, because whichever way this goes, it's going to tell us more about the future of English football than almost any other fixture on the calendar this year.